fucked up, dude.
I've realized recently that maybe I've got a mild case of foot and mouth disease, where I say kind of the exactly wrong thing at exactly the wrong time. And my example of this happened earlier today. I was outside having a cigarette with a coworker, and she was telling me this story about how her coworker, or no, her friend rather, called her at 2 a.m. saying, "Hey, person, I've been losing a lot of weight lately, and I'm getting really concerned." And if you get a call at 2 a.m. from someone saying, "Hey, I'm really freaked out, I'm losing a lot of weight," something is wrong. So she's telling me this, and I respond to her, "Wow, that sounds cancerous."
To lose weight?
No, her friend had been losing a lot of weight, called her because they're close friends, and says, "Hey, I'm really concerned. I've been losing a lot of weight." And she's telling this to me, this conversation that they had, and my response
Was she? I know, like, you're a nice person, but like with my eyes, is she like a fat bastard?
I mean, no.
Okay,
But it's also not her losing the weight. It was her friend that called her.
Oh my god. Okay, I'm not even drunk, and I'm having trouble following. But I'm
okay.
sorry.
So I'm person A.
Yeah.
She's person B.
Yeah.
We're outside having a cigarette. She receives a phone call that morning at 2 a.m. from person C. Person C tells person B, my coworker, that he is really concerned. He's losing a lot of weight. And she immediately freaks out, because if you're losing a lot of weight really rapidly, that's a serious symptom of things. So she is relaying her conversation with this other person to me. And my remark to her was, "Wow, that sounds cancerous." And I feel like maybe there was something better, maybe a little nicer I could have said. So that was the highlight of my day, just really fucking this social interaction with my coworker. How would you have responded in that sort of situation, John?
Maybe he has a tapeworm.
There you God, the fingers crossed, right?
Yeah.
Like Jesus.
I'm just not following still, but it's okay.
So, all right.
It's cancerous.
So, I'm Bill.
Yeah.
That's John, and you're Phil. John and I are coworkers outside having a cigarette.
Yeah.
John tells me the story of how you called John at 2 a.m. earlier this morning.
Yeah.
Explaining, "Hey, I'm really freaked out. I've been losing a lot of weight really, really quickly."
Yeah.
Which is, if you did not know, one of like the most noticeable symptoms of cancer.
Yeah.
So John is telling me about this conversation that you two had.
Yeah.
Where you're saying, "Hey, I lost a lot of weight, or I lost a lot of weight really recently, and I'm really freaked out about it." So John is telling me that you had this conversation with him.
Yeah.
And my remark to John is, "Wow, that sounds like cancer." And I feel like I could have done a better job of being a friend and maybe not being so frank and maybe saying like, "Well, I hope everything works out," or, "Wow,
Yeah.
I don't know what that is," instead of just being like, "Oh yeah, no, he's got cancer."
Mm-hmm.
So that's my little ethical dilemma. Does that make sense? Do you understand?
Yeah.
Like why I may be regretting what I said and how maybe I feel like there was something better I could have said?
I mean, with me, it's hard for me to regret what I say. I mean, maybe I regret it later on when I'm overthinking it.
Sure.
But usually I say the wrong shit at the wrong everything.
Sure.
The wrong everything at the wrong everything. So, but I don't know. So how do you feel?
Yeah, I think that was a little maybe
strong?
a little rough, but yeah, maybe say something like she's stressed out or he's stressed out, something like that.
See, and this is not the first instance of this.
Or maybe they're
happening.
just bulimic and anorexic and hate themselves.
She mentioned that he was a very sort of burly guy, and
So she definitely hates herself.
I don't know how you get that from me saying that he's a burly guy.
Well, maybe maybe she hates that she's with a burly guy.
They're not together.
Oh, okay. Wow. I'm complete. I'm just gonna shut up, man.
Thank you. Anyway, this is like a recurring pattern in my life where I just sort of have this innate talent of saying the exactly wrong thing at exactly the wrong time.
The worst possible thing.
Another example, a friend of mine, he and I went to high school together, and he was having his birthday party. I think he was turning 20 or 21 or something at sort of a country-themed bar. And I said, well, shoot, we're going to this country-themed bar. Sure hope there ain't no sister smooching. And the friend that I was with at the time turned to me and said, no, I don't think there'll be any sister smooching. And it was at that point that I realized that the friend whose birthday it was, his sister drowned the prior summer. And that...
Were they smooching, though, when she did it?
No, I think it was like a very sudden
And was it
cardiac
hot?
episode. I could not tell you. I'm really thrilled you're eager to make light of like my friend's sister like drowning, but
All right.
like I just, and again, it was just another instance of like completely unintentionally saying the wrong thing at the wrong time. Has that ever happened to either of you?
I'm sure it has. I just can't think of a situation.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I can't think of. I mean, there is a shitload, and I'm sure people get offended by me saying that there isn't. But I just I can't think of it.
It almost reminds me of like a Larry David-esque, like really good intentions, but just it blows up in your fucking face.